What's going on, veterans, transitioning service members if you're in and you're about to file for VA disability? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Veterans Claim Servants Off the Battlefield podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about 7 mistakes to avoid when filing for VA disability benefits. If you're tuned in, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment to this channel, share this out, hit that notification bell. We want to make sure that someone listening to this or somebody that needs the help gets the education and the resources that they need. Again, thank you for tuning in. If you are a service member or have served or are a veteran, thank you for your service to our country. We appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. We are veterans, serving veterans. So without further ado, let's get into it. 7 mistakes to avoid when filing VA disability benefits. Number 1, I want to get into something very crucial. This is not the number one thing that I'm going to discuss out of the 7, key factors to avoid when filing a VA disability claim and some of the things that go wrong. But a big enemy of veterans is time, right? If you do not file in the proper time, it can really, really hurt you as a veteran, right? Time getting in the way, many veterans believing that they are not deserving of the benefits, or they think that they could not get the benefits that they deserved, or that they were not worthy enough to file a claim. That's a lie. That's a myth. There's a lot of education out here now, so make sure that you get educated in the right resources. And when's the best time to file a claim as well? Make sure that you have the evidence first. Make sure that you have in-service treatment, stressor, or diagnosis, but file it as soon as you have the evidence. File it as soon as you can. Get to a representative or someone that can absolutely help you right legally in the right way, and that's not going to screw you over and put you in the best position to win your claim. And remember, guys, there are subjective claims. Some things somebody listening to this may not have filed for their medical records, or may not even have their medical records, or are waiting for their medical records, right? But look, if you're around loud noises, or if you have hearing loss and you worked on a flight line, or you were a mortarman or whatever, or infantry, and your job was high noise exposure, you can file a subjective claim for your VA disability benefits. And remember, it's subjective. That is based off of your personal statement. Is, let's use tinnitus, for example. That's a subjective statement. Your back, knees, neck, ankle, shoulder, cervical, spine, that's going to be objective, meaning that needs to be in your medical records, right? Unless your back or your knees, unless you were parachute or airborne and jumped out of airplanes or air assault or something of that nature, you can file for claims for a disability claim, and it can be subjective. But look, you still need evidence for those knees, neck, backs, even if you were a parachutist or airborne person or something of that nature. You still need evidence to show that you still have a diagnosis. Okay, but time is crucial, and it's one of the biggest enemies against veterans. Is the more time that you wait, the harder that it becomes to prove in-service treatment, stressor diagnosis, and to prove nexus or service connection, right? But before you submit, make sure that you have the evidence that you need and that you are putting yourself in the best position to win your claim, because if you are not, you're just kind of screwing yourself, okay? But let's get into this, the 7 mistakes to avoid when filing VA disability benefits. Number 1 is not understanding the VA claims process. Many veterans think they simply fill out forms and wait for their check. However, this is not so. The process of obtaining your disability is more complicated than that. The VA awards benefits only when you can prove that, number 1, you're eligible to receive VA benefits. Number 2, you have a current disability, right? And you have in-service treatment, stress, or diagnosis when you were on duty, when you were in active service, when you were in the Guard, you have an LOD or reserves. While on duty, you had something happen to you, an injury that occurred, and you can prove that. Number 3, you have proof that something happened to you while you were in the service. Number 4, you have medical evidence linking your disability to something, so that nexus that happened in the service. And number 5, you have medical evidence demonstrating the severity of your condition. How bad is your back? How bad is your knee? How bad are your headaches? How bad is your PTSD? Have you been getting up-to-date treatment? You can never have enough treatment. I just want you to know that. So proving those 5 points is often difficult. This is one reason the VA denies most first-time claims or claims in general, right? So are you eligible, right? Do you have a current disability? Do you have proof that something happened to you while you were in the service? Do you have the medical evidence or the nexus linking your disability to something that happened in service? And number 5, do you have medical evidence demonstrating the severity of your condition, right? You need to know that. So number 1 is not understanding the VA claims process. Get educated. You are your best advocate. Number 2 is not hiring a representative after you've been denied. So many veterans who deserve disability benefits do not understand the process or maybe some of the intricate points in the law and the process to claim. It's very difficult for you to win VA disability benefits unless you understand the process or that you get the help that you need to be put in the best position to win your claim. So don't just fling things up there. Don't just submit anything just thinking it's going. Don't just assume, okay? Make sure that you have the right help. Make sure that you do the proper research. Make sure that you get the proper education and help by videos like this right here. This is what I want to do. I want to give you the education that you need to win your claim and to be in the best position to win your claim, or get the help that you need. You know, you deserve it. You've served, but make sure that you have the right help to understand why you were denied, that can read that rating decision letter, that can let you and help you to understand the in-service treatment stressor diagnosis. Number 3 out of the 7 things is not submitting detailed statements from either yourself, so that 214138, that statement in support of claim, or if it's PTSD, that 210781, that statement in support of claim of PTSD, or statements from your friends and family members or a battle buddy. The more evidence that you have, the better. It is crucial to document your symptoms and how they have affected your everyday quality of life. Many veterans fail to obtain statements from friends or family, service buddies, members who personally witnessed the symptoms of their disability or witnessed somebody get injured while they were in, and associated secondary health challenges. Sometimes you don't see yourself the way that others see you, or maybe your spouse sees you, or maybe a battle buddy once knew you and you were a lot different, and now you've just completely changed and you can't hold down a job and you're getting irritable and you're breaking things in your house. I don't know, but you need to ask someone, and don't be afraid to take, honest and truthful feedback and ask your wife, ask your spouse, ask your kids, ask your family members, am I different? Am I different from when I joined the military or before I joined the military? And what are things that are different about me? And what do I need to get help with? Right? There's nothing wrong with getting help. So statements. In every claim that you submit, I recommend that you have a personal statement. It's so important. Number 4 is overstating the impact of your disability. Do not exaggerate, do not lie, but do not minimize. It's a balance. You need to understand that you don't want to lie, but you need to be honest. Look, if my back hurts me out of a 30-day period, what is my worst back pain on a scale of 1 to 10? Maybe it's a 7. Okay, you need to articulate that your back is a 7, right? And you need to articulate that, look, out of a 30-day period, 25 of those days, my back is a 4 or a 5. 5 days, I'm not getting out of bed and I'm missing work 1 day out of the month, and it's a 7. You need to make sure that you're just honest. You need to make sure that you're articulate about it. Keeping a log or a statement of something that you're claiming, a log of a certain condition is super, super important, veterans. Make sure that you do that, because that just is a track record of proving your symptoms and your pain and things like that. Mark that stuff down, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your pain that day? How bad is your chronic pain? But don't over exaggerate, don't lie, because then it's just going to be harder to win your claim and you're just kind of screwing yourself. And it prompts the VA to doubt and causes the VA to question the validity of maybe your entire claim. In the end, all that ends up happening is you end up getting hurt, and you hurt yourself at chances at a successful claim. It's important to explain your case thoroughly and make sure what you present is accurate with the pertinent evidence. Look, if the evidence is there and you legitimately have the certain condition, or you have the PTSD, or you have the in-service treatment stressor diagnosis, you should have no issue to get service connected. It's just important that you articulate the severity of your symptoms when they're at their worst. Don't lie about it, though. Number 5 is not obtaining a medical opinion that links your disability to your service. So a nexus letter. In the description of this video, there are reputable, safe, honest, and integral doctors. I will never put somebody in the link or the description of this video that's just going to throw some crap up there that's going to take a penny from you and that's trying to screw you over. These doctors, Dr. Prashant, Dr. Lopez, if you need a musculoskeletal nexus letter or DBQ, you can get that. Make sure that you have it. If you've been denied, make sure you understand why you've been denied. If you have a favorable finding, you know that you need a nexus letter, okay? One of the main reasons why VA denies claims is the absence of sufficient medical evidence linking your disability to your service. So again, do you have that in-service treatment, stressor, or diagnosis while you're in? If all you have are your own statements claiming the problem is related to your service, the VA will most likely deny your claim. Okay. So make sure that you have in-service treatment, stress, or diagnosis. What happened while you're in? Can you prove it? And were you diagnosed? And if you weren't diagnosed, are you diagnosed now, today, before submitting your claim? Number 6 is relying only on the VA compensation and pension examiner. So you file your claim. It goes to gathering evidence, review decision, and that step 3 that you'll see on your app or on the va.gov login, whenever you log in to look at your claim and the status of it. You get a CMP examination, you get an email from Optum, VES, or QTC, right? And you just assume that the CMP examiner will say something favorable for your claim. You must bring the proper evidence to that claim, to that CMP examination for your claim that you submitted in. Don't assume that they have it. When you get there, you need to say, look, have you looked at my evidence? Have you seen everything that's in my claim? Do you have this nexus letter? Do you have this disability benefits questionnaire? Did you see these statements? Because sometimes those raters do not assume veterans that they give them to that CMP examiner, because sometimes they don't. But make sure you are your best advocate. Have all the evidence and ask that examiner, did you see my evidence? Did you look at everything before I came in here? Did you review my medical records? If you did not, I made a copy for you. Here you go. I want to make sure that you have this. I want to make sure that you have this nexus letter. I want to make sure you see this medical and scientific literature, this nexus letter proving how my PTSD causes chronic fatigue syndrome, or my migraines, or my headaches. You need to have that evidence. Do not rely only on the VA compensation and pension examiner. That is number 6. And number 7, do not give up. Giving up on your claim. Look, why do that? You're going to be back in the same position that you were when you started. Understand the reason why and keep fighting. I know it's a pain in the butt, but look, if you give up, then you're just going to be where you are, and you're just going to be bitter, and it's going to just piss you off even more. Many veterans may find the appeal process challenging and cumbersome. But look, I'm telling you, there's a lot of information out here today. There's a lot of great channels and very good information out here. And reach out, info@veteransclaimservice.com. If you have a question, I just want to help you legally and ethically to make sure that you're in the best position to win your claim. In addition, your disability and the financial hardship may compound the issue, and you may decide to give up. It's not the best option. If you meet the VA's requirements, if you served, you deserve. If you have in-service treatment, stress, or diagnosis, you can do it. There are secondary claims that you can do as well too, right? There are so many things that you can do. There are subjective claims, not objective claims, that you can file: tinnitus, headaches, hearing loss, mental health, PTSD, things of that nature, that if you can prove, or you have a combat action badge or infantry badge or Purple Heart or Bronze Star or something of that nature, and you're in Vietnam or Desert Storm, or you can prove that you were there. Look, you come with an outside medical opinion in a statement, and something happened and you can prove that. You don't need medical records for that. It's best if you do have medical records, and it's best if you have up-to-date treatment, but make sure that you don't give up. Make sure you find out and get educated on the claims that you are submitting, and make sure that you are submitting all the evidence that you need the first time, because if not, you're making it that much harder on yourself. So number 7, veterans, do not give up on your claim. I hope this video today has been helpful. That is 7 mistakes to avoid when filing VA disability benefits. And again, do not give up. Keep on fighting. You deserve it. And I thank you for your service. Again, if you find this video helpful and educational and can help someone else, like, comment, subscribe. That keeps it going. It keeps it moving on the algorithm. Hit that notification bell. Share this out with a fellow veteran, transitioning service member, or a military member that is serving now and about to get out. Get educated. Get the benefits that you can, not to take advantage of the government or the system, but this is replacement income. Get what you deserve, because you're going to be the one that has to suffer the consequences if you don't. And later on, like I said in the beginning of this, if you wait too long, time can become your worst enemy. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Veterans Claim Servants Off the Battlefield podcast. Thank you for your service. We are veterans serving veterans. Until next time, I am out.